Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the new look, Paul Thorpe and guest live. We are live this evening on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. We are probably live on X as well, somewhere along the line. Yeah, I think we are. And we're also live tonight for the first time on TikTok. But TikTokers can only see me and not you guys. It's a shame because if they could, they would see the delightful Richard Inman. Keir Starmer's a wanker. He's just held a T-shirt up.
Oh dear.
We'd have Danny in Spain with a fresh new haircut by the looks of it. Either that or the dog's had a lick round his barnet.
It's falling out, mate. It's falling out.
And we have the fantastic, fabulous Sarah White. She is also fresh. There you go, look. Right side of history. Love it. Love it, Sarah. Sarah is wearing a top that says right side of history. Sarah, I gather you've been a busy girl today. Tell us about your day.
I've been really busy today. So myself and Ola had decided to not only have the protest, well, we're not the ones who decide to have protests at Epping, but we decided we wanted to do something a bit bigger. And we took a protest to opposite Downing Street, basically. And we come across multiple problems because firstly, we was told we couldn't have Parliament Square because they had reseeded it. So we was told to get a different location. We went for Richmond Terrace, which worked out really well, to be honest. But then at 7 o'clock this morning, the stage company texted Ola and said, really sorry, we can't provide the stage. I called them from my number because they didn't have that. And the guy said, oh, really sorry, we're worried about bad publicity. And I said, what, of 70 and 80-year-old women? And we're fighting for children. How can you have bad publicity? And at the end of the day, we all know there's no such thing as bad publicity. And was it that somebody else got to them? Or, you know,
almost certainly.
What was it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, it worked in our favour. It seemed very authentic, very organic, very grassroots. It was lovely. We had Lucy Connolly speaking. We had Susan Hall. There was myself and Ola and a couple of other women. And young Bob even gave a little speech as well. And we had music playing. And it was just lovely. It was really, really nice.
I see the great unwashed were across the road.
The opening part of my speech was, I think we can all agree there was a bad smell here today. And I believe it was the great unwashed. And then so when we turned up this morning, it was just myself, Ola and Trina, and we got out the car and there was so many of the great unwashed. Not so many, it was probably 20 of them, but there was us three. And they was trying to take up the whole part of the pavement where we needed to walk through. Yeah. Obviously, I don't care. I lived in Canning Town. I ain't going to be worried about a few people who don't wash. And so walk straight through. But they were supposed to be opposite us. They wasn't supposed to be where we were. So they purposely were there. They'd set up a gazebo. The police were looking at them like, oh, God, these are a bunch of idiots. Like they went, don't worry, we'll move them on. We've got to wait to put a Section 14 in place. Narinda was obviously there with a foul mouth and, little hermit that she is.
Yeah. Do you know what, guys? That is one person that I've never actually bothered to talk about, and I've got no intentions of talking about her either, because to me, she's just an absolute insignificance. I mean, people talk about they use the word grifter, but where Narinda Kaur is concerned, and I will say this, she is a grifter. I don't even think she believes in what she does. That's how she earns her money. But I'm afraid today, boys and girls, there is another bit of bad news, more intimidation. Reform Wales were due to have a meeting.
Advance Wales. Paul.
We're going to be talking about reform later on. That is why. Sorry. Advance Wales were due to have a meeting this evening. By the way, Richard, I'm not the only one that does that. There are plenty of us that do it.
Listen, guilty as charged. I'll put my hands up.
So this from Advance Wales this evening, not good news, I'm afraid.
Well, hi folks, just come on very quickly just to let you all know, sadly and unfortunately, and I'm really sorry about this, we've had to cancel the Cardiff meet and greet tonight due to the fact that anti-protesters have made threats to the pub that we were going to meet in. So this is no reflection on the pub itself, because of course the protection of staff and the pub itself is crucial to us. But they're trying to shut down, of course, once again, the freedom of speech. This was an informal social gathering of members, but yet we've been called far-right, dangerous people, which we all know we're not. Just another example of the attacks that we're going to face and we are facing. So I just want to say I'm really sorry for those of you who are making plans. It's not until 6 o'clock, so hopefully you've got time for this meet and greet we were meant to be at tonight. Just to let you know, it's been cancelled, completely out of our control. We've been in touch, of course, with the police as well, who informed us that they've had credible people saying threats that should we turn up there, then there'll be anti-protesters and all kinds of stuff. So look, we're going to cancel it because the simple reason is we want to protect the pub, the staff, and of course members of the community as well. But we will continue to fight on. We'll find another venue. They're only these meet and greets, these small gatherings that we're having. So they're not going to stop us. They're not going to silence us, because our voices need to be heard and we believe in the freedom of speech. Of course, those on the left clearly don't. So if you think you've won, you haven't. You just embolden our cause and you've made us more, if you like, more fired up to make sure that we get the message out there. The freedom of speech will always exist and you will not stop us. So just to say, unfortunately, tonight's event has been cancelled. So sincere apologies, and we'll let you know more. You should receive an email very shortly about it, more detail if you remember. But just to say, tonight, meet and greet at the Master Gunners has now been cancelled.
So, Richard, I mean, tonight's topic in general is going to be, you know, Labour ramping up the intimidation and their dirty tricks campaign. I mean, look, you know, we're not going to point any fingers on that one this evening, that particular instance, but, you know, another case of intimidation, political intimidation, in what is supposed to be a country where you are free to debate, to attend political rallies, political meetings, etc. And the police, etc., they seem to be allowing this sort of thing to take place and turning pretty much a blind eye to it all. I mean, it's disgraceful.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think there's a couple of things that you can do practically. I think one is find friendly landlords in. Listen, there's always going to be I mean, obviously, depending on where it is in Wales, there's always going to be one pub that will accommodate you and be friendly. And what we need to do is build a database of those pubs, restaurants, clubs, whatever it is, and actually get them business from it. Because there are patriotic pubs that say, stuff you put people, a counter protest there, we'll put security in the door and we'll keep them out. You know, so I think that's a practical thing that every single event organizer needs to do. We need to say, you know, it's the same with what happened this morning with that, with the staging thing.
Yeah.
The reality is, there's people that we can go to that we know. In fact, there's one that we know very well. I'll not say his name on here. We'll talk about it afterwards. But you know who I'm talking about, who can produce scaffolding in the blink of an eye. So he can produce a stage from nothing. So I think all these things, we need to get friendly people that we know will actually do it, and won't put the arm in and actually, shaft us like some of the other people that provide services for us too. But that's another story. But yeah. So I think there's practical things we can do on that, Paul. We know what they're like. We know what they're doing. It's going to get a lot dirtier because they're in the death throes. You know, they're like a dying fox or a dying wolf. They're thrashing about trying to bite people, and we just need to keep strangling them until they die.
Yeah, metaphorically.
I was going to say, careful.
Metaphorically-ish.
David Crosby, cheers, David. Lemmy lied about Farage. Farage lied about Tommy. Yeah, exactly. We're going to be talking about that later on. I mean, Danny, look, this sort of intimidation that is going on, it's just not right, is it? It's just plain wrong.
It's every opportunity, Paul, at the moment. It seems like, as you say at the beginning, dirty tricks seems to be the way forward, doesn't it?
Yeah,
for sure.
And it's
I know that. Yeah, go on, Sarah. Sorry.
They're losing, so they're clutching at straws. But the thing is, when it comes to reforms grown too big for them, so they find it hard to cancel them. So where Advance is now, it's building momentum, but they're finding it easier to get them shut down. Once they get to a certain stage, they're going to try, but they will fail in the end. And it just makes people look and go, you know what? Actually, what are they doing? And it makes people start to and hopefully turn the other way.
Well, there is a difference between the left and the right. I mean, I have now 2 pubs named and shamed in Brighton that have refused to serve people with Stop the Boats T-shirts. They've refused to serve them. They've asked them to leave. Now, I could very easily name those pubs tonight and cause them a whole heap of trouble. But I'm not going to, because we're better than that,
Yeah.
right? I mean, some people will say I should, and maybe I should. But I tell
Yeah, I
you
think
what,
you should. I think you
well,
should.
do you know what, Richard? I'm not going to play their game. Not yet. But we'll see. We'll see. Those pubs, those two pubs, they know they are. They know that I know. I'm not going to name them at the moment. But if this carries on, if you decide who can and who can't have a political belief drinking your pub, we will be naming you. And then, you know, you can accept the Google reviews with glee. Look, we've got loads to get through tonight. Danny, I wanted to ask you a question. I'm not sure if it's something you want to talk about at the moment, but I know that, you know, your case, your situation where you feel you can't come home at the moment, a bit like my own, but probably even worse because, you know, you had the anti-terror police actually breathing down your neck with their hands in your pocket for your phones. I know that whilst that initially shook you to the core, being a lovely, law-abiding citizen that I know you to be, you know, you're not some kind of, you know, Cockney gangster that's used to dealing with the police every day of your life. You know, it's the first time you ever come across them in your life. You found it very traumatizing, but I get the impression talking here that shock is starting to wear off and frustration, dare I say it, even anger is starting to take over. I mean, if you prefer not to comment on that, it's fine.
No, a bit of both, Paul, to be fair. At the time, it was a side swipe. Like I said to you before, you felt like you turned around and somebody sort of just sucker punched you in the face. That's what it felt like originally. I've become angry about it now because obviously my father's at home quite ill. And he's saying to me, under no circumstances do you come back here and go through that sort of crap again. So I get what he means, but I can't have it that I can't return to the UK. So at the moment, I've got something going on in the background, and I'm going to be requesting some information from that incident, which was approaching 6 months ago. Can you believe, Paul? 6 months ago. Next week, it's 6 months.
Unbelievable. I mean, I do believe, Danny, that in the front of our passports, it says that Her Majesty, now His Majesty, of course, demands that we have the right to pass freely without hindrance or let.
Well, yeah, you've got the European Constitution of Human Rights, which has got... I've looked a lot more into this now. Obviously, before, it was all irrelevant to me because I never needed to call on these laws or these what they call them, statutes. But now I'm sort of looking and diving more into things. You've got the Human Rights Act and, like I say, the European Constitution of Human Rights. And there's an awful lot in there that I believe was breached. But like I say, at the moment, there's some stuff going on in the background. Richard's sort of aware of it as well at the moment. Because obviously, isn't it weird that I've been targeted, Richard's been targeted, you've had problems, although you haven't had the full works, Paul, you've had problems when you was going back to the UK some time ago. Yeah. And obviously, Tommy himself, and now obviously George Galloway the other day, although I understand that was under a slightly different section, which I haven't looked into, but I understand he's made a video about it now, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, no, I did watch the video. I'm waiting for Sarah to go on holiday next time and see what happens when she gets back.
Guinea pig. Guinea pig.
Where do you want me to go?
Oh, I don't know. Somewhere, just pop over. I don't know. Just pop over to France for the day.
Go to Spain,
France,
and then
pop back.
It's not when you leave you have the problem.
It's coming back.
It's coming back.
That's when you come back.
We got AY Audits in the chat. Good evening, mate. Keep up the good work. Watching your video earlier on. Sorry to hear about your bit of trouble that you've had. Haven't got round to watching that video just yet, but I've heard what's been going on, so I'll be watching that very, very soon. I'll tell you what makes me laugh when the police talking about AY Audits and all the auditors really is when these bloody coppers ask them for their press credentials. Who gives a flying frig about poxy press credentials? So you've got to be a member of a lefty union, right, to be a journalist, have you? Right.
No,
you know what?
no.
So poke it up your jacksie.
That again, it's massive overreach.
Overreach.
We had this when Tommy got nicked at the anti-Semitism rally, and I was with him. This copper came in, and he was giving it all. Oh, where's your NUJ card? And all of us were just saying, just go away. You You don't
Yeah.
need an NUJ card to be a journalist. What has an American journalist got an NUJ card? Just clear
Yeah.
off. You know, and the cop, if you know not know the law, because none of us know all the law, but if you know bits of what these cops can actually ask you justifiably, you can shoot them down if they're overstretching, and so many of them are overreaching,
Yeah.
massively overreaching.
Oh, massively. Now, we've got well over 2,000 people watching live on YouTube. I tell you what, I should have been a woman, mate. I'm multitasking, right? I've got YouTube going. I'm managing the comments in YouTube. I've got TikTok going live, and I'm saying hello to my TikTok viewers right now. Well, let's have a look. I think there's 3,500 people watching in TikTok. I don't know. So we've got loads and loads of people watching. We're live on your channel, Richard. Yeah.
Yeah,
Are we
Counter
live on
Media.
your?
We're on
Danny, are we
Counter
on
Media,
yours?
and we're on Twitter.
Yes, mate, we're on Danny in Spain, and yeah, like I say, it's
There you go.
I've only just plugged it. on
It's
mine.
going crazy, and I believe I'm hoping that Sarah will have her channel going soon. Right, let's get into the meat and bones of all this. Right, Labour are ramping up the intimidation. Now, I watched David Lammy. I watched and listened to David Lammy. I listened to Shabana Mahmood. I listened to Keir Starmer. I was actually really interested to hear Shabana Mahmood's first keynote speech, really, at a party conference. It's the first time that she's ever given a speech like that in that position. And I was somewhat hopeful that there might have been some conciliatory language there. I had a gut feeling that she might just try and do that. I was very wrong, and I was hugely disappointed, because I believe what she had to say, what Keir Starmer had to say, what David Lammy had to say, who accused Nigel Farage today, and I'm no fan of Nigel Farage, and I won't be voting Reform. But at the end of the day, we are supposed to be gentlemen. And David Lammy accused Nigel Farage of, what was his exact words?
He was flirting with Hitler Youth.
Hitler Youth. Flirting with Hitler Youth.
Incredible.
Now, these words are dangerous, they're inflammatory, they're divisive.
And 16 years before Nigel was born.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And here's the other deal as well. I mean, we could just be polite and say it's irresponsible, but I think it's far worse than that. Now, Shabana Mahmood's comments shook me to the core, because I feel that she was offering us a thinly veiled attack on just about everyone that doesn't agree with Labour's left-wing views.
Yeah.
And even worse, guys, and I'll start with Sarah on this one, even worse, Sarah, I thought that those words put a target not only on Nigel Farage's back, bearing in mind we're only 2 weeks in from the Charlie Kirk assassination. This has put a target on people like Nigel Farage, people like Ben Habib, people like Tommy, even down to people like myself, Danny, Richard, you know, Mayor Tuzi, AY Audits, who's watching it, you know, any one of us on the centre right of politics that is in the public spotlight, they are putting a target on our back. There is no other description for it. What do you think, Sarah?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And she should be ashamed of what she said. And these people have got to be held accountable, because they are basically, and you can't say that she didn't know what she was saying or anything like that. They have media training. They know exactly what they're doing. And basically she's no better than the person who killed Charlie Kirk, because she is going to be inciting certain people to go out and commit violence. And ultimately, what happens if some nutter does take out Nigel Farage, that they believe everything she's saying? You know, what would happen then? Or what happens if somebody else gets targeted?
Ben Habib wins the election.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But in all seriousness, though, I mean, you're absolutely right, Sarah. In all seriousness, God forbid, if someone was to do that, would the police be then, would they then be looking at the Prime Minister of this country and the Home Secretary for incitement? Because to me, and it's not just me, but everyone's saying it, all the media's saying it, the TV stations are saying it, of course, the regular sycophants, you know, your Channel 4s, I mean, even they've had a little go tonight. But, you know, you can forget your BBC, you're never going to get anything out of those people. But, You know, everyone else has been saying this is inflammatory, it's dangerous, it's incitement. I don't even know why, Richard, she brought race into it. It's never been about race. It's about culture and about bringing people into our country that we don't know who they are.
Talking about races, just before you jump on that, Rich, apparently the Oxford and Cambridge boat race, nothing to do with face, Sarah, because that's a boat race, isn't it? Anyway, it's supposed to be scrapped because they're calling it elitist. But that's according to the BBC, so I understand.
Right.
I don't know whether anyone else has heard that, but that's
No.
what somebody texted me just now.
Nothing would surprise me.
Doesn't surprise me.
Nothing would surprise me.
How can that be elitist? You get to compete because you are studying at a certain place and there are boat races and certain people do that. Are we going to say that all runners now need to be stopped?
No,
Because
that's where does it stop?
I'll tell you how insane, whilst we're on the subject of sport very quickly and the boat race, because the boat race goes right past Fulham Football Ground on a Saturday afternoon. And I've seen that boat race go past on many occasions whilst I've been at Craven Cottage.
Maybe never again.
Look at this tweet from Fulham Football Club this afternoon. And I only have one question, and that is why? Have a look at this. And the only reason I've seen it is because obviously I follow Fulham. But look. Fulham Football Club staff and players celebrated Nigerian Independence Day at Motspur Park this afternoon. Right. Why? Anybody got any ideas?
I ain't got a clue.
Any idea? Why would a West London Football Club playing in the Premier League celebrate Nigerian Independence Day? I mean, yeah, okay, we got one or two Nigerian players, but then so have a lot of clubs. We got, you know, players from Brazil, we got players from Wales, we got players from all over the world. When I saw that, I just thought, why?
It's the new fashion, probably.
Why? It just doesn't make it. But going back to the question, Richard, dangerous intimidation, divisive language, inflammatory language, what do you make of it?
Well, I mean, look, the reality is we've got to look to solutions to all these problems because we know what's going on. And I do, you know, I'm not having to go at us on this channel or any of the other people that are putting content out, but we know what's happening and we know how bad it is. We need to be looking for solutions. And that's what we need to be continually talking about. How do we solve this problem? And the only way we can solve this problem is by getting power. Now, obviously, the way things are looking at the minute, reform are absolutely romping ahead. We get it. We know all that. But I think with Advance UK, what we need with Advance UK is the real deal. I don't believe that reform is. So we need to really energize Advance UK. We need to keep pushing the pledge. We need to keep pushing the cultural answers. And then we need to look at very practical things. And this is where, you know, mine's greater than any of us in this room tonight. Basically, we need to get on the policies that need to be put in place to get rid of the blob, the civil service, the police chiefs, the corrupt police chiefs, the corrupt judges, anybody that's woke needs to go, and legislation needs to be passed as soon as whatever party, whether it's Advanced Reform, an Advanced Reform Coalition, Restore, Advanced Reform, right-wing conservative, UKIP, whatever the mix is, doesn't matter. As soon as that election happens and these people get absolutely smashed in the next election. There used to be an old election poster in Northern Ireland in 1987. It had Ian Paisley with a big massive sledgehammer and it just said smash Sinn Féin. We need to have something like that. Smash the left, smash the woke. We need to smash them electorally. And then we need to, when we get power, we need to get rid of all these people from these quangos. There needs to be a complete purge and it needs to be brutal and ruthless. And if any of these people have done anything illegal, they need to go to prison. We need to just get rid of them. And look, that sounds hard, but revolutions are hard.
Yeah, Chris Evans says, I don't recognise the Labour Party anymore. It used to represent fair day's pay for a fair day's work. I mean, look, the Labour Party of the 1960s, 1970s, the one that we grew up with, are dead. They're gone. Finished. Forever. I don't ever see them coming back.
Paul, let me tell you something. The Labour Party then was no... They might not have had the woke stuff, but they were still communists.
Oh,
they were
yeah.
still socialists. They were still hard left. The Labour Party has never been good. Has never been good. And, you know, we can coat it with sugar. You know, everybody ranting about how great Tony Blair was. Tony Blair's the worst thing that probably ever happened to this country politically.
Without doubt.
Yeah, and you know, if you look at some of the Labour politicians in the 1980s, do you remember what was his name? Foote. I can't remember his first name.
Michael Foot.
Michael Foote. Yeah, you know, came to work in his donkey jacket every day.
Looked like
with
a mad
star.
professor, didn't he?
Well, that's because he was a mad professor.
Yeah.
You know, but so the left, we've got to realise communism, the left, it's always been rotten. It killed 200 million people in the 20th century. The left are wrong-uns. The left have killed more people than Nazis killed. Way more. Way. And by the way, I don't like Nazis. You know, just want to qualify that before someone clips it. But we hate Nazis. We all hate Nazis. We should hate communists with equal venom. And yet the Socialist Workers' Party are allowed to parade themselves at every single demonstration we go to. And their disgusting, vile ideology has killed at least twice as many people as Adolf Hitler did.
Yeah. Danny, I'm going to bring the mood down just a little bit before I rise it up again. Is that a new Stone Island top you got there?
How did you guess?
See, I've got an eye for a bit of quality, mate.
Right,
I know.
mate.
Yeah. Look at that. Look.
Yeah.
Where'd you get that? One of the markets? Yeah, knockoff. You're muted, Danny.
Sorry, mate. I got it because I'm coughing and stuff, and I don't want to put that all over your channel. Yeah, I got it down the looky bloke down at the seafront today.
Yeah, I know you
Buy
better
one,
than
get
that,
one
don't I?
free.
I know you better than that.
Yeah.
Nick, thank you, Nick. Starmer told audience to go armed, not with words, but with action. If ever there was incitement, that was it. Absolutely. I mean, you know, there are people messaging me at home now are very, very frightened over Starmer's words. Sylvia's son, may our Lord God sheath you all in heavenly armour in the name of his divine son, Jesus Christ. Thanks to him. Amen. Thank you, Sylvia's son. And Sheila Miller, thank you. We all love Danny. Ian.
Can't help it, mate.
Well,
that's meant to read, we all love Danny Ian, as in Ian Nicholson.
Oh, I see. We all love Danny. Right, got it.
There's a lot of comments in the chat, Paul, just saying, you know, Danny's rocking it. You know, Danny's this. I can't help it, mate. It's popular.
If you got it, you got it, Danny, haven't you? Why not flirt it, mate? Yeah.
That door, right, Danny?
Hey, what's that?
What's read when you go through your door later?
Is it ain't? Is that the word you meant to say the other day when you text us? Ain't all about you, Danny.
Ain't all about you, Danny boy.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Andrew, thank you, Andrew. Big shout out to the Star Panel. Special big up to Richard the Lionheart. There you go. If you want to watch this, I'm addressing my TikTokers now for a minute. If you want to see me superstar guest, come over to my YouTube channel, Paul Thorpe Live. We are live online right now. You can see Danny, Richard and Sarah. I've got to tell you, you're not missing much with the boys, but there you go. They're very good at what they do. But it is what it is. Where are we? Let me remove that. Let's dive into the normal chat as well. Going back to the topic, I want to play you a couple more videos, actually. Let's get a couple more videos out. You know, we talk about ramping up the intimidation. Have a look at this. This is more of what's going on now. The UK is currently getting more social media arrests than Russia and North Korea put together on a daily basis. And this is the sort of thing that we're experiencing. If you're in America, watch this. And just thank God that you got the Don in charge.
Please stay there. The reason I'm filming you is because I'm sick of the harassment. Every time I open the door to one of your officers, they are filming me. So now you know how it feels.
Just before we go any further, imagine this bloke knocking on your door at 2 o'clock in the morning. He looks like the Undertaker, doesn't he? He looks like he's going to tell you that one of your family members has just been killed in a road traffic accident. Look.
Now it is 2:30 in the morning. Can I ask why for a second time tonight you are disturbing me and my son in my home?
Yeah, because there's I've been made aware there's videos that have been posted onto social media.
He sounds pissed. I don't know about you.
Well, it is 2:20 in the morning, Paul, to be fair to him.
Well, he's probably stuffed himself with Greggs all day and McDonald's. Hold on, let's. I shouldn't interrupt, really, should I? Go on.
That were made this morning,
This morning, what
and
made this morning?
And of my officers that have been round this evening.
Right, and
So I'm here to kindly ask that
Oh, but he's the life and soul of the party, and he look. Stamp collector, look.
you remove said videos from social media. If you would do
no,
so,
I don't
please.
think I've broke the law, so I don't think I will.
If you, and also, I want to advise you that you might well be committing offences under the Malicious Communications Act. Okay.
Okay, well, I'm sure Dame Diana Johnson will explain that to me when she sees the video, won't she? She is a qualified barrister. She wasn't a director of... failed to protect him. He was...
remove the videos from social media.
Good night,
And
officer.
I'm advising you.
And I'm asking you to leave now, please.
Offences under the Malicious Communications Act.
Good night,
Having
officer.
said that, I'll leave you to it. Thank you.
Good night, officer. And may I ask, please do not come back to my house and disturb again.
2:20 a.m. in the morning.
I feel sorry because there's a little girl in the background there, and there's obviously a young boy or girl, young child in the background.
What sort of police
awful is
force knocks on the door at 2:20 a.m. to ask you to remove social media posts? What the hell is going on in this country? What the hell? I mean, I've never experienced anything like that in my life. I mean, you can't get the old bill out when your house has been burgled. You can't get them out when you've been beaten up.
They've got time. It's not only that. It's not them just sending a police officer out. They've actually spent time going through social media. What are these officers doing? So they're sitting, trolling through page after page after page. How many million pages of stuff is there? So you have to think, what are our officers actually doing? No wonder they can't turn up when someone's being stabbed. Because actually, if you can sit there at a desk and just scroll through someone's social media, you're going to probably pick that over actually going out and chasing someone down and having a bit of a tear up.
Yeah.
Because they
it's a nice easy 40 grand a year number, isn't it, or whatever they want. But I'm afraid it gets worse than that, guys, right? And I'm going to play you a little recording now. This is absolutely mind-boggling. If you thought that was bad, have a listen to this. Now, this came from leaked audio of a teacher at Brood Oak School telling children the English flag is racist. Let's have a little listen to this. Now, over the last few weeks, I've done a couple of videos warning parents that you should Google your child's teacher. You should Google their name and have a look at their social media footprint. Because just because your teacher is a, nice Miss so-and-so, Miss whatever, and they wave and smile at your kids when they walk in the morning, you don't know what these people believe in and what they're getting up to at the weekend. Have a little listen to this. I can't even tell you how it began to make me feel, to think that these people are teaching our children. Keir Starmer said at the conference that he wants more kids to go to university. I bet he bloody does, and this is why.
Something that is really important to mention, because it is something that I hear quite a lot. We are not saying that the England flag is an inherently racist symbol. However, for some people, it is currently being used as a way to make migrants, refugees, and asylum seekers feel unwelcome. So we have seen the rise of lots and lots of these flags all around Manchester and all around the UK, particularly in areas where asylum-seeking hotels have been present. So we've seen the rise of this in Parkinson. In fact, there is a very similar looking set of lampposts that look like this. And again, we aren't saying that this is an inherently racist symbol. However, unfortunately for some people, it has been used to do that.
Now listen carefully, guys. Listen very carefully.
An example of this I'm going to show you in a moment is from a protest that I attended in Fallowfield. I attended to oppose the views of people who were trying to make those people inside the hotel feel unwelcome, and I stood on the opposite side, and unfortunately...
So she's a rank lefty. She's on the opposite side. She's a counter-protester. She's teaching our kids. This woman stood across the road from patriots waving Union flags at St George's crosses and probably stood there with a stand up to racism banner that said on it, what do they say? Smash the far right by any means necessary. This is a dangerous individual. Shouldn't be anywhere near our kids.
This is what we saw. Those people waving England flags and Ireland flags in this case, some of them were using Nazi salutes.
Absolute blatant out and out lie.
Don't believe it.
I challenge that teacher and I challenge that school. And I'm going to name them right now again. Broad Oak School. School.
Product school, yeah.
One of your teachers is telling your children that she went on a counter demonstration and witnessed people giving Nazi salutes. I am calling her out in public tonight and calling her an absolute downright liar.
Yeah.
She is being paid to lie to your children at that school, and she should not be in the job. She needs to be removed from her post with immediate effect. She's a far left extremist with far left extremist views. She is exactly what she's preaching to the kids. She is what she's preaching against. Get her out. She's a danger. And I don't care. Go on, Richard.
Can I say one
I'm
thing there?
fuming
Paul?
over that one, mate.
I have seen Nazi salutes at demonstrations, right? But I want to qualify this because this is really important. Nobody does it anymore. The reason people did it about 5 or 6 years ago, it was irony. And that is 100% genuine. When those tramps were shouting that we were all Nazis, you had people, some of them who were Jewish, some of them who were from ethnic minorities, doing Nazi salutes out of irony. Now, nobody does that anymore because the problem is the left and the media don't understand irony. If they've got that money shot of someone doing that sort of salute, they basically screenshot it or whatever. But that's 100% genuine. That's why people would have done it in the past. It wasn't because they were Nazis. It was they're taking the mick out of these idiots that were calling normal British people fascists and Nazis. You know, not a clever thing to do, obviously, because of the way the media are and they don't understand irony. But that's 100% genuine.
But I'm calling her a liar, and I'm challenging her to provide video evidence of it. But this is what we face. I've been on TikTok Live. We had 6,400 people watching on TikTok Live. Can you read this? Hold on.
It's 640, Paul. You can stop adding notes on that.
Live restricted.
Live restricted for some audiences. Your live contains themes that some may find uncomfortable.
Oh, what a load of crap.
Paul, I've got you banned from TikTok on the first day, mate.
TikTok, if you're watching, you can stick your stream where the sun don't shine. See you later. Guys, if you can still see me, join me over at YouTube. I'm done with TikTok. It's a waste of time. Why bother to use a platform that restricts people from watching what you want to watch? I love you all. Thanks for watching. Come over to YouTube. Right, let me close that down. That's enough for TikTok. Done with that.
You know what's wrong is that woman. So she's teaching our children. Their minds are like sponges. They don't really know. They look up to teachers that they're the ones that are learning, like teaching them. And then, but you've got the likes of Russell Quirk, who was forced off air from Talk TV because he's running as a reform mayor in Essex. Now, how can she be allowed to keep her job? Because he's not allowed to because of a conflict of interests. So is what she's saying is a conflict of interest, and she could be getting children to, have a certain view, the same as hers. You're muted, Paul.
It's nothing short of political indoctrination. That's all it is. It's political indoctrination.
They're getting them early.
They're getting them early, and it's vile. It's disgusting. If my daughter or one of my kids was at that school, I would be. Well, I'm livid now, and they're not even at my school.
Do you know, I'm so glad my son doesn't go to school in the UK now.
Oh, Danny, I did a little short yesterday, mate. I picked up my granddaughter yesterday for lunch from school, right? When I get there, there's an armed police officer outside and a full-time security guard. When I took her back, there's an armed police officer there and a security guard. When I drove off, I drive past 2 further schools within about a mile. Both of those schools, there's an armed police officer outside on a motorbike.
Do you know what, Paul? That's not just, I mean, that can come across that they're fearing something's going to happen at the school. It's
No,
not
they're
like
just
that
there.
here. They are armed police officers. That's all the police officers are armed. And they do patrol the traffic and make sure that the kids get into school, right? A little bit like the lollipop lady from years ago. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
I don't
I
know whether
remember.
they still have that anymore. I think that was all scrapped, right?
The Spanish care about their children, though. That's the
Oh,
difference.
that
very
seems to be
much
the
so. And
The authorities care about their children in Spain. The authorities in this country do not care about the children in this country.
they are massive. Something I said on the video the other day, Sarah, something that I really love and respect about the Spanish is how much they care about their kids.
It's all about the children, Paul.
It's all about the children. And I just find it absolutely, it's beautiful to watch. I'm just trying to find a picture on my phone, actually, that my daughter took.
Carter's obviously got loads of school friends and when they come over, parents, they take them to the skate park after school. That's what they do. They take them to the skate park. They're always included. If the parents go out for a meal, the kids come. Otherwise, the parents don't go. They don't dump them off with a babysitter. They don't stick an iPad in front of them. They take them with them. They sit at the table. They communicate, and that's how it is. And we seem to have lost that somewhere in the UK. By the way, that's 196 years that boat race has been going.
Is it? I'm going to cover
Richard.
I'm going to cover her face up, right? Because obviously I don't want her face being shown on camera. But that's after school. That's my granddaughter standing there with a police officer. Beautiful. Lovely. I love it. And I just think it's great. Right, Claire Bear, our wonderful one of my wonderful moderators. I have a few and I love them all, and thank you so much for the jobs that you do for us. It's really, really appreciated, as is you, Joanne. Thank you very much. And Renfield, just saw on GB News that the government has forced Apple to give them backdoor access to our iPhones. Wow.
I think that was a while ago, to be fair, Paul. I think that was a few weeks ago.
But wasn't it backed and then maybe they brought it back up again?
Possibly.
Anyway, you know the video that I played the other night? I played a video the other night that showed this incident where this hideous police officer in the blue there snatched the Union flag off of a 16-year-old girl. 3,147 people watching. Please give us a thumbs up, guys. We'd really appreciate it. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Usual YouTubey stuff. Now, one of our moderators, Claire, that incensed us so much that she thought that she would ring Northumbria Police and complain. Now, I don't know about you. If I was going to phone up a police force and make a complaint, I wouldn't dial 999 or 101. I would look on their website, get their number and give them a call.
As would most, Paul.
As would most people. Have a little listen to the reception that Claire got when she rang up the police to make a complaint about that officer. Are you ready for this? Hold on to your hats.
Good morning. Is that Newcastle Police Station?
No, try 101.
Well, I just need some advice. Actually, I've seen something regarding one of your liaison officers that I wasn't happy about on social media.
What?
I saw one of your police officers on social media, his liaison officer PC2662. I'd like to make a complaint about the way that he treated a 16-year-old child. We've taken a flag off him.
Go to the local press, go to your local radio station and the police and crime commissioner, and of course email the police. I'm not the police.
Well, that's the number I've been given.
By who?
Well, I just found it on the website.
You found it. You haven't been given the number. You went and found it yourself on a website.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. No, right. So that's what you do. Police and crime commissioner, email
Yes,
the
but
police,
am I actually
local media, local radio, local.
Am I actually speaking to a police officer?
No, for the second time, you're still not speaking to a police officer. I'm not the police, no.
Well, how do
You
you...
all right?
Well, your number's on the website.
Yes. Anything else I can do for you?
Can you even believe what you're hearing here? So she rings up the number on the police website, and you've got a geezer that sounds like he's working in McDonald's.
Well, I mean, was that the police station she got through to, and just a civvy, was it answering the phone?
Well, it sounds like it's obviously a civvy answering the phone, but what I'm saying to you is that is the number on the police website to call if you want to call the police station in that area.
Yeah.
If you call 101, they just say, oh, we're not that station, we're just a call centre.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Now, the bottom line is this.
999, that's an emergency.
You know, if you ring the police and they say, hello, the police, you know, how can I help you? Well, have a guess. I've got a problem. I've not rung up to order a McDonald's take or whatever. I've not rung up Uber Eats. Do you know what I mean? What an attitude, stinking attitude. Terrible. But well done, Claire, for having a go anyway.
Yeah, it was good.
And that's what we're facing. I mean, it's just all gone. It's all gone. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, this from Kelvin McKenzie earlier today. After weeks of stalling in the face of my emails, get this: Elbridge Council in Surrey, Weybridge, Esher, Walton-on-Thames, areas that I know very well, has finally admitted to me that they have taken £5.2 million earmarked for affordable housing, i.e. for local people, and spent it on buying 24 homes for migrants from Afghanistan and Syria. Not only are the hard-up local families being denied these places, but local residents were denied the right to know about the purchases by a hopeless coalition of Lib Dems and Residents Association. The 5 million plus came from the money given to the council by property developers when it wasn't appropriate to build affordable homes on their site. All I can say to that one, really, guys, is I guess it makes all those residents a racist, right?
Obviously.
Pretty much.
I mean, is it any wonder? I mean, I picked up this headline earlier on GB News, or was it Talk TV? Epping protests. Sarah, you're probably best to comment on this one. Farage says country close to civil disobedience on a vast scale.
Yeah, you know what? I think since obviously what happened in Epping, and it just so happened that Epping is the epicentre of causing all of these protests to be up and down the country, and hence the reason we had the protest today. And the country is at boiling point because more and more men are coming into this country and at an alarming rate, and slowly but surely every single district and borough and county and whatever it is now being affected because every hotel's getting filled up, so it's going further and further afield. Where I had people saying to me the other year, don't know what you're going on about, we don't see it. Now they're saying to me, oh my god, they're in our village now. Like, people have had enough, and it's now affecting the majority instead of the minority. And I believe that there is going to be civil unrest, because it's already at civil unrest. You know, we're just keeping very calm, but everyone is furious, and we're very well mannered, really, aren't we? As English, as British.
Yeah, it's the British way, isn't it? To be polite and to get in a queue. I mean, they probably get in a queue
and pushed and pushed and pushed.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, and there's so many things going wrong in this country. It's the immigration, it's the NHS, it's our Prime Minister, it's the Labour Party, everything, you know. And then on top of it, for us all to be called racists, and then for us to put our flag up and we're called racists. But then isn't it funny how at the Labour conference they're all waving British flags?
Yeah, I mean, funny you should mention that, Sarah. I mean, have you ever seen a more uncomfortable photo in your life?
Mm.
I mean, look, how much did they have to hold their nose?
Yeah. But what was that all about? They would have been better off not holding them flags, because we're being deemed as racist, everyone up and down this country, being told in schools that it's a racist symbol, our flag, but yet they're holding them. What are they holding them for?
What they're trying to do, in my opinion, is they're trying to take the flag away from everyone else and use it for their own agenda, but whatever agenda that is. I mean, look, at the end of the day, guys, I've got a question that I've got to ask you. And I know it's always a difficult one, you, Danny, because I know that you like to try and, steer clear of a few bits and bobs, but I'm going to ask you anyway. I'm going to ask all four of you this, and I'll start with Danny. I've got to be honest with you. I mean, I receive, 500 WhatsApp messages a day, plus as many emails that you can't read as you can think of. I can never read my emails. And the general consensus of opinion from everyone, pretty much from everyone, is that this has all gone too far, and many people feel that it is simply irretrievable. I don't believe that it is irretrievable, not yet, but I believe that we're getting close to that point. Danny, do you think this situation's retrievable? You're muted again, mate.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
That's
Where
all
I'm
right.
coughing and spluttering, I don't.
No,
want to
you're
keep
fine,
going
mate. You're fine.
I do believe at the moment it's retrievable, but I think we are at the tipping point, and I do believe genuinely that something's got to happen fairly quickly. I just believe what's happening at the moment, Labour are making a rod for their own back. They will never, ever, ever, ever be elected again unless they've imported so many people that they will import voters rather than the British people. Paul, I don't know whether you can, and I'm sorry to just sidetrack, can you see that image I've uploaded? I've uploaded it, but I don't know whether
let
you
me
can
have a
see it.
look.
It's showing on my screen.
What does it look like, Danny? Is it .gov?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay,
I
so
need
put
you
it
to
up
bring
now.
that up when you've got a second. No, because you was asking the panel, but we'll do it in a
Okay,
second.
yeah. So, Richard, what do you think? Is this a retrievable situation?
Well, it is retrievable, but it's going to be extremely messy. We need to do what I was saying at the beginning of the program. We need to clear everything out. I'm not on about the migrants. Obviously, we need to clear everything out before we can clear the migrants out. The reality is there needs to be a total change in the governance of the United Kingdom. We do need to have a moratorium on immigration, and I think particularly from problematic countries. We don't want. I mean, I'm not kidding. I was driving home from the airport today, and obviously I've just come back from Londonistan, right? And I'm driving through Northern Ireland.
You can get arrested for saying that now.
Yeah, I know. So I'm a bothered.
Police will be there at 2:20 in the morning.
Yeah. And I was driving through a town near where I live, and it was honestly like driving through Mogadishu. And this is Northern Ireland, where like they say that the population, the migrant population is less than 2% or something like that. Now this was school. This was kids out of school, and it was just Somali kids everywhere. I don't know where they come from. Never seen them before in that town. That town is like a sort of Protestant bastion in Northern Ireland, and it was just like school time in Mogadishu.
Sarah, is it retrievable, or do you think that ultimately it's too late for us? What do you think? I mean, I don't like to be, ask a negative question, but it's a question that people put to me every day. Oh, is it too late?
I don't think it's too late. I think it is retrievable, but it's not going to be an easy ride. But I think you can see from the amount of protests, from how many people Tommy got at his march, from us being able to do something today on a midday week, showing that it's now the women are coming out. And that's when there's a real problem, when the women are there, because, women will then be saying to their husbands at home, come on, what are you doing? We've all got to get out. We've got to do this. We've got to make a change. And unfortunately, I think that there's going to be something's going to happen, and that's going to spur people to come out. Like, when you look at what happened last year, you said the other week, Richard, what people don't realise is we're one attack away. If that happens again, what happened last year, this country is going to be in uproar. And no one surely would sit back if anything happens. And the problem isn't just illegal migration, it's legal migration. The problem isn't just migration, the problem is our government. And the problem is the left. You've got all of these people and with their ideologies who have been born and bred here, and they're like maybe even 4th, 5th generation born here, but they are so warped and they do need to be called out, and they need to be shown and be put back in line, really, that teaching our children certain things is unacceptable. You'll lose your job. Being a certain way to people, you're going to lose your job. You know, they have to be called out. But I don't believe that it's gone too far. I believe a bow only has to be pulled back so far before it fires forward, and I think we can win.
Oh, please God. I mean, it's just, so concerning for everyone. Sharon Ray, thank you, Sharon. Bless your heart. Just want to say hi to my favourite men on YouTube. You're all amazing. Love to you, Sarah, as well. Thank you. Herding Cats, Paul, have I missed your live on the Farage recordings? No, we are doing, that is set for, I'm doing a recording with the guy that has the recordings, I believe on the 7th, I think it is, of October. So that one will be coming soon. Andrew SD says the black belt barrister has said he's taken up the case on a pro bono cases to represent the teenage girl. Brilliant. David Crosby, police all gone. Pete Tong, Starmer, banker. Yeah, I'll tell you something. Here's a question for you. I was watching Starmer at the conference yesterday, and you know what actually went through my mind? They say the lunatics have taken over the asylum. I actually question the sanity of some of them Labour front benches,
Oh, definitely.
I really genuinely
Definitely.
do.
I think all of them.
I question their sanity.
Yeah, totally. I mean, how can you be? Here's the thing. I heard this yesterday, and this is from a really good source. It was with a couple of Jewish friends, but it didn't come from the Jewish guys. There's one of their business associates, and he was saying his daughter goes to a school. I'm not going to say where it is. His daughter goes to a school in a certain area, and one of the teachers is a Muslim convert, a white female Muslim convert, right? She went into school, the teacher, with a Palestinian badge on, right? A young Jewish girl who's very studious, very well behaved, complained about the Palestinian badge that this Muslim convert was wearing, and that teacher has made that little girl's life hell since that happened. And the school are terrified to do anything about it because they're terrified of being called Islamophobic. So this is a woman that by choice has become a Muslim, which in my mind shows some form of serious mental problems, right? If you're going to choose to put that misogynistic, vile doctrine on yourself, it's different if you're born and brought up with it, but to put it on yourself voluntarily is just bizarre, right? But the school are doing nothing about it. And this young girl, and I'm going to get more information on it, I might even try and speaking to the parents. This young girl is basically been discriminated against in that school because she's Jewish. Now, just think about that. When you go back to the Holocaust, you go back to the 1930s, you go back to what happened in
it's no different, Richard, is it?
No
it's
different.
1939 all over again. And I tell you what, Richard,
same ideology.
Will you please pass on this message to that family? I tell you what, we will give them every single bit of support that they need and deserve. And if they want us to call that school out, if they want backup online, we will give that to them 100%. We are not going to see children being demonised and bullied at school by these people. We're not going to stand back and accept that.
Paul, they basically had they've got a proper, I mean, obviously they're a Jewish family, and I think they're fairly well off. They've got a really good lawyer on it, and didn't make a difference. Didn't make a bit of difference. They sent a solicitor's letter to the school from a really good lawyer or barrister, and the school ignored it. So it is one that's bubbling under. I'm not going to say where the school is because obviously, just in case they don't want the publicity on it. But if they want the publicity, we'll certainly give them it.
But what it's about, Richard, what it's about, Sarah and Danny, it's all about fear and intimidation. The title of the video tonight is all about Labour ramping up the intimidation.
Yep.
And this is the left ramping up their intimidation. If you complain, we will kick off.
Yep.
If you demonstrate, we will kick off. If you organise a political meeting, we will kick off.
How long is it, Paul, now? How long is it going to be until it's illegal to protest in, say, groups over 200 people? How long is it going to be?
Well,
because that'll get passed.
Danny, with this lot in charge, nothing would surprise me.
Paul, when you get a second, chuck that little...
Yeah, let's have a little look. What have you got there, Danny? It better be decent. I don't want any...
No, it's decent and researched. So this little government decided to change the logo slightly. Now, I don't know if the top logo's the old logo in the black, the bottom one, the blue, with the blue dot that's slightly raised up in the middle a little bit. It's the only change I can see. So it's a blue background, the dot's gone blue, and it's slightly raised up. Do you want to have a little guess how much that change in logo cost the British taxpayer? I was going to bring this up on my channel, Paul, but it's better placed on this channel.
Yeah, well, I don't know, Danny. I mean, I could do that probably on Photoshop or in Canva in about 5 seconds.
Yeah, my son would do a better, well, as good a job as that, to be fair.
1.4 million.
Well, no, I mean, that's not far away. £532,000. There you go. Money well spent. Move a dot up, change it to blue, change the background to blue.
Well, go back to the...
That's according to AI, by the way. I did double check it. Someone sent it to me. They said double check it. I checked it with my own AI and it did come up with the same figure.
Well, anyone from the government watching, if it is wrong, you sue Danny Salmon. He's on once a week and he's got his own channel. But no, seriously, nothing would surprise me. I mean, the money will be spent on things like stationery and all the rest of the nonsense that goes with it. But I'll go back to the tweet from the football
I have to
club.
say alleged,
Why?
Paul. I have to say that's an alleged figure.
Yeah, he's getting all worried now about getting
cover
sued.
himself legally.
Colin, thank you, Colin. We keep saying we are waiting for a spark. I think that spark will be the budget.
No.
Not sure about that one.
The British public, they're just too like, oh, things have gone up a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the Labour Party are doing such a bad job, and I do believe that this is a personal opinion. I do believe, allegedly, I've got to keep saying that now, and I Paul, in case I get sued.
We'll call you Danny allegedly in Spain.
Alleged Dan, yeah, allegedly. But they're doing such a bad job, in my opinion, that I don't think the budget's going to be as bad as everyone's thinking. They've got to do something to keep the public a little bit on side, I think.
I don't think they care, Danny. I don't think they care. This is my take on it, and people are going to laugh when I put this picture up. This is my take on it, right? Starmer is doing a grand job. Let him finish it, and I'll tell you what the job he's doing is he's putting an end to the left. As far as I don't want to see him gone at the moment. Let him carry on ruining it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Let him crack on.
Yeah.
The last thing we want now, we're right up to the line. We are right up, and our toes, the nation's toes, are on the line. The last thing we need now is an Andy Burnham or someone that's going to come in and get everyone to take a step back, right?
Mm.
Go on, Richard. You look like you disagree with that.
I just don't think Andy Burnham will make the slightest bit of difference. To be honest with you, I think the toast, mate. They
are, Richard. But the trouble is,
the
thing is with Keir Starmer is such an infectious individual that he is detested by everyone. Even the sound of the man's voice, and by the way, isn't Rachel Reeves' long lost sister, or don't they share the same voice box? Even the sound of his voice makes you feel like throwing up. So
that voice coach he had during COVID didn't really do him much good, did she? Didn't
do him a lot of good.
Maybe she was doing something else. I
don't know what they were getting up to, but it certainly were.
What
are we going to do next? I'll tell you what we're going to do next, guys. We're going to call out another woke ginger whinger.
Oh.
You know who this idiot is, don't you? Matthew Stadling.
Man.
What an absolute clown this fella is, right? The ginger whinger, we're going to call him. Let's have a little look at his performance on GB News. I've got a message. I've got a little challenge for our friend Matthew here. Let's have a little listen to this, Wally.
Be helpful. And by the way, you said hundreds of thousands.
By the way, have a look at his mooey as well all the way through this, the attitude.
That in. I said to you earlier, people don't trust your sums. The best estimate I've seen of that march is 150,000. Zia, you said hundreds of thousands. Don't do that because it's dishonest. No.
Don't do that. It's dishonest. Look at him, the brat.
Don't do it. Let me ask the prime question. Do you agree with your leader that Tommy Robinson has no place in your party?
Well, now look at the face. He thinks he's all clever. Now, first of all, Azir Youssef, to be fair to him, is just about to point out, Tommy's never asked to join your poxy party. He doesn't want to be a part of your party. Let's carry on.
I agree with Nigel on that, but let's also be clear, Tommy has not made any requests to join Reform and is currently supporting another party. But what you've just done is you've just done exactly the same thing that politicians in this country and the political elite have done time and time again. Because what she did there was she created an other, she created an us and them. And it was, by the way, we talk about inflammatory rhetoric. I actually think the most pernicious inflammatory rhetoric we have heard from a senior politician in this country this week was not actually the racist thing, as bad as that was. It was Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of this country, talking about an enemy. Did you see that? He talked about there is an enemy. And this comes in the context, by the way, of the assassination of Charlie Kirk in the United States, tragically, of a raft, I see these things, a raft of people on social media calling for Nigel to be murdered, and to be using words like enemy, which is not something, if you listen to what Nigel has said, every time he's asked about Keir Starmer, he's actually complimentary about him as a person. He seems a perfectly nice, relatively harmless chap. He's just totally out of his depth. What Keir Starmer is doing, because he is circling the drain, because according to a Survation poll this week, the majority of Labour members want him to stand down, and because he's literally the most unpopular Prime Minister in history, is resorting to this outrageous, divisive rhetoric. And for you to sit there and say, we're the ones who are using bad rhetoric is so beyond the pale and shows, frankly, Matthew, how out of touch you are.
I've been on this channel well over 300 times, so I'm someone who steps out of my echo chamber into an environment where most people disagree with me because I want to advance my...
Mate, most people disagree with you because you're a brat.
A case. So please don't tell me. I took 13,000 calls on LBC from people right around the country over 4 years.
See that face and the way he says that? Do you know what we used to call people like that? Billy Big Bollocks, right? That's what we used to call people like that. Listen to the lemon.
I'm in no echo chamber. I listen to people. And I've listened to Nigel Farage, and you're right. In that speech he made earlier in the summer, when he was talking about reintroducing scrapping the two-child benefit cap, he did talk in conciliatory language about Keir Starmer, the person. I think that's important. I think all politicians, including you, and I don't see it sometimes from your X account, should talk about other politicians with a degree of respect, certainly not with hostility or sometimes from some people aggression. I want to hear it from you again, though, please, because Nigel Farage is your leader, and this really matters. If you want to be the next party of government, we need to know from you, in my view, that what Nigel Farage said when he talked about Tommy Robinson, and
he's obsessed with Tommy. I bet this bloke has got pictures of Tommy in his bedroom. You know that? I bet he has. You know it, don't you? He goes to bed at night wondering what it would be like to be Tommy.
Said emphatically he doesn't want him in his party. I want to hear that from you. Are you prepared to say it?
He don't work for you. He don't have to answer.
Can he not answer? No, I'm debating him. Are you going to answer or not?
Now, here's where, right, I'm debating him, he says, right? So this is where it gets interesting. Matthew, if you're watching this, you ginger whinger, why don't you debate with the man himself? You got plenty to say for yourself, son. You've been on, what is it, 13,000 episodes or 13,000 calls on LBC you boast about? Well, the only one we're really interested in, mate, is one with the man himself.
Is there more to that, Paul? Or not?
A little bit more. But
he sort of, does he come back again?
No. Look, listen, he's just not having it, Dan. Right? You know, he's like the school playground bully. He's got plenty to say for himself when the man himself is not in front of him. So Matthew Stadlin, you know, you give it all the big one about 13,000 calls on LBC. Yeah, I suppose you have. You know, all vetted before they come through. You've been on the GB News a few times because they have to have the odd lunatic on to balance the books, as it were. Challenge to GB News and to Matthew Stadlin. Why don't you do a pay-per-view? You and Tommy, I'm sure it'd do very well. But I tell you what, mate, it's gone 9 o'clock. I can say it. Your arsehole would fall out, and we all know it.
Who is he? This is the thing, Paul. He's a nobody.
Just another nobody. Exactly, Richard. Another nobody.
He's a knob.
Yeah, another nobody. But unfortunately, given airtime. Let me just remove that. I've got another one here. What is this one? Oh, yeah. No, we've seen that one. Right now, tomorrow, we have, you remember James Holmes, the guy that's doing the fly the flag thing up there in Chesterfield.
He's a friend of mine, James.
Pardon me?
He's a friend of mine. I'll put you in touch with him.
He's a good lad, isn't he? He's a good lad. He sent me a video earlier on. It's about 4 minutes long, but I'm going to play it because it's well worth watching. He needs a bit of support tomorrow. This is James up there in Chesterfield.
Just look at the threatening tone of these letters from officials of Chesterfield Borough Council regarding our flytheflag.uk giant Union flag to encourage more people to fly the Union Jack or the Union flag all over this once Great Britain. Well, we all know that Labour, Lymore and the civil service hate Britain, hate the British people, and so clearly hate the Union flag. The first letter arrived the first letter arrived on the day that we installed the flag, and we had a visit within minutes of the flag coming on by 2 council officials. I bet council taxpayers can't get a response from council officials as quick as that, even when you're desperate. In 2013, Chesterfield Borough Council had the opportunity to purchase this building from North East Derbyshire County Council and convert it into 59 apartments. Apartments desperately needed for the council taxpayers of Chesterfield, but they didn't. Couldn't afford it, apparently. All the money spent on officers' wages, gold-plated pensions, and the chief executive's £124,000 salary, I guess. In 2021, when I purchased this building, Chesterfield Borough Council wanted a £250,000 levy for me to create the 59 apartments and the footfall the town centre so desperately needs. How many working from home salaries was this going towards? Wouldn't have lasted long paying their gold-plated pensions, would it? 18 months of the chief executive's salary. Now, with work due to start on this building and the planning application in for the windows that the planning department requires us to add, how long do you think it'll take for us to get a response to that planning application? How many nonsense requirements do you think they'll put on just so they can delay us this time, just so they can mess us around? Maybe to try and punish us for putting this giant fly the flag Union flag on that they don't like. How long do you think? Maybe we should run a sweepstake. Well, we all know how hard-working and funded these working from home officials are, don't we? Because they never tire of telling us that, do they? And of putting us council taxes up and cutting our services. So tomorrow, Thursday, 10 a.m. approximately, I'll be hosting the first of our flytheflag.uk chats with the public at the front of this building. What do you think of the Union flag? I'll supply a chair and a cup of tea. Even if we disagree and it gets a bit heated, can we agree now, though, that we'll shake hands or have a hug at the end, please? Let's try to keep it friendly. Also donate a free Fly the Flag 5 foot by 3 foot flag to everyone that comes. Hope to see you there. Or maybe come and meet our new flytheflag.uk giant cow.
Paul, you're muted, mate.
I keep doing that whilst I'm playing a video. I'm sure people up in the area will know where James is talking about. So there's a free flag there and a chance to have a chat tomorrow. Go up there, get involved in the community. Really good job he's doing up there. Well done, James. Herding cats.
Paul,
yeah.
Can you? I'm very worried about that. Actually, can you get the image back up of what that guy James? Just look at
the threat.
Just pause it.
Yeah.
Right? Why has he got a naked model of an anemic David Lammy over his shoulder?
You spotted that, didn't you, mate? You spotted that. Herding cats, they will always get the Muslim vote, remember. I'm not sure they will. I think Jeremy Corbyn is going to I mean, with Jeremy Corbyn and Zara Sultana floating around in the background, Labour could be left with the biggest political embarrassment ever seen on these shores. Kenny Milsom, if we transported the left back to 1939, they would have been supporting the Nazis. Exactly, of course they would. Labour is on life support, says Lorien. Thank you. Just worried about how much damage they'll do before they are gone. And David Crosby, Starmer's speech gave me severe nausea. He gives me nausea just listening to the guy. The lovely Claire Bear, they are wanting to raise the child benefit from only 2 children receiving it to all children. We all know why that is. Doesn't take a lot of working out, does it? And the Welsh lady, Starmer sounds like a Dalek. Right, guys, before we wind things up tonight, I always give you guys a chance to have anything you want to get off your chest before we go. Sarah, anything to add today? Thanks for all your good work as well, by the way.
That's all right. I would just say, like, with regards to, say, like, this morning with that stage company that, well, it's a scaffolding company, and they cancelled the stage. And if anyone is worried about bad press, you know, firstly, there's no such thing as bad press. But secondly, I'm a business owner. I have lost customers. I've never lost a customer in 6 years, apart from the last 2 months. I have lost so many customers. But I would rather, right, yeah,
Richard
I would
knows all
rather
about
lose
that, Sarah.
customers and know that I'm on the right side of history. And I know that I would rather die on my feet than live a life on my knees, because you cannot, you have to, these people, you have to, everyone has to be on the right side of history. You cannot keep going the way we're going and think that, oh, it'll be all right. Don't worry about it. Because in the future, your grandchildren are going to be the ones that suffer. So I would urge everyone, all of your viewers, and I'm pretty sure all of your viewers are all the same as us, but just do what you can. Don't worry about what you might lose, because in the end, it will come back to you, and you will have done good, and you will feel better for doing that. Absolutely.
Well said, Sarah. Well said. Richard?
Yeah, well, I agree with all that. And also, it's what we do. I mean, we've got to, everybody that watches this, you've got to register to vote. Don't be one of those idiots. I'm going to call them out that used to put stuff in the comments. Oh, voting is not going to make a difference. It's either vote or violence. It's as simple as that. And I'm not wanting violence. So we've got to vote our way out of this. We've got to get a massive majority, however that looks in 2029 or whenever the next election is going to be. We've got to get a complete replacement of these disgusting uniparty traitors. And we've got to do it. And the other thing is, the reason that these lunatics in the Labour Party are throwing about all these accusations of racism, this, that, and the other, is because they know they're going to get absolutely massacred at the next election. They know they're losing. They know they're on the wrong side of history, and they know that we're going to win. But you've got to register to vote. Get yourself on the electoral roll.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Danny?
Nothing further to add, Your Honour. Apart from we've got to try and get Paul past the 300,000 subscribers. We're 299,000 odd.
Yeah.
So we need to just push him past that next level. So if you just check that you're subscribed to his channel and make sure that you have clicked subscribe if you're not, and let's get him past that.
I appreciate that, Danny, but I do have some bad news tonight as well. Funny you say that.
You've dropped down to 30 subscribers.
Well, no, I tell you what, Danny, in the last 2 weeks, and I think it might be partly my fault, but my views to my lives have been good. The views to my regular videos have been shocking, right? Now, about 2 weeks ago, I had an email from YouTube. Well, no, actually, it wasn't an email. It came up in the back end. It said, would I like to participate in a program, a beta program on YouTube? It might help my viewing figures. And I said, yes, why not? Since I did that, my views have dived something rotten. But it gets even worse. The day I checked the back end, of my 300,000 subscribers, less than 900 received notifications of my videos this week.
Wow.
Less than 900.
I think they've changed it a little bit, Paul. I think you have to go into your notification bell and click there's 3 options. I think it's like you could, if you click all of the notifications, and it might have been changed. So it's just worth bearing that in mind to all of the channels, that you click the left hand icon, and I believe that's what it is now. It might have changed, Paul.
So guys, if you are out there and you are subscribed to my channel and you're not getting the notifications, please either unsubscribe and resubscribe, or make sure that notification bell is on, because quite frankly, the amount of views that my videos have got this week, you have a look at them and you think, bloody hell, is it even worth it? You know, I mean, it's just, they've been terrible this last couple of weeks, that is for sure. Colin, thank you, Colin. I would like to see Tommy face the Ginger Whinger, wouldn't we all? Martin, thank you. Did you see the royal dinner for Trump? How much multiculturalism did you see there? It doesn't apply to elites, just the working class. I must admit, I didn't actually see it, to be fair. Last super of the night, Tesbot, thank you. Something came up on the laptop. Mahmood said Islamophobia law could give Muslims special treatment. Was I dreaming? Probably not. Who knows? You never know with that lot, that's for sure. Look, good stream again tonight, guys. Richard, thank you so much.
Thanks, I'd just like to say one thing. Congratulations to my son. He passed his driving test this morning.
Oh, good lad. Well done. Now you got a problem, Mum.
Yeah, now your nightmares really start.
Yeah. Oh, dear. I remember that one, sitting up till 2 o'clock in the morning waiting for him to come home, and oh, my good God.
I just won't get him a car.
It's better than a bike, that's for sure.
Just not having a car. But no, he done well. Whilst I was out protesting, and I was waiting for him to ring, and he rang and said, really sorry, I fouled. So I was standing there all day at the protest thinking he'd fouled, and then come home and I was like, I'm only joking.
Oh, no, he stitched right up. What have I done now? I've got rid of you lot. I've only got me.
We've all gone.
There we go. Right, guys, that's it.
It's all about
tonight.
Paul, you see. It's all about
Paul.
Paul.
Trust me, it's not. Danny, as always, thank you so much. I love the new Stone Island top, mate.
Thank you very much, mate.
When
€4.95 from the looky man down at the beach.
Mate.
When Sophie's shrunk it, right? Stick it in the post to me and I'll have it. Right?
Yeah, all right.
Just tell her not to shrink the belly part.
I've got a good video coming out tomorrow on the banks.
Right.
You know, I've had all sorts of issues with the banks. It's coming out on my channel. Just give it a watch if you don't mind. It's about Metro Bank and Santander.
Brilliant. Danny in Spain tomorrow. Don't forget to watch that. Richard, thank you so much. And Sarah, I sincerely hope you get your own YouTube channel up and running as quickly as possible so that I can be a guest on your show and you can have all the pressure.
Definitely. I'll sort it out.
Wouldn't it be good? We're there to help you out. Any help you need, you know you've got it. Right, guys, let's play the new outro. We'll see you soon. Have a great week, everyone. All the best.